Good morning, members of the Revenue Committee. For the record, my name is Tim, Tim Royers, Royers. I'm the incoming president of the Nebraska State Education Association, and I'm speaking on behalf of our members in a neutral capacity on LB 9. I do want to start by thanking Senator Hughes and Senators Brandt, Conrad, Dorn, and Walz for co-sponsoring this proposal. LB 9 has been a breath of fresh air as we have tried to navigate a tumultuous build-up to the special session and the main proposal brought forward by the governor. LB 9 recognizes that on an issue as far-reaching and as important as school funding, it is critical to provide the necessary time to work through a change as substantial as this. By providing a 10-year stair step down to its target of a 25-cent general levy, we can navigate the challenges and have the necessary time to make any potentially needed course corrections through the implementation. From our perspective as educators, this is the right approach to take. Moving too fast without securing the adequate resources to do so creates a significant risk that there will be resource shortfalls. And what might be a dip in a graph for you will be something that actually does real harm to our kids. As legislators, you get another fiscal year to correct, but my daughters are only going to get one 9th grade and one 5th grade that they're getting ready for here in a couple weeks. There's no do-overs for them. So we would much rather see the purposeful, managed approach of LB 9 so that we can strike that balance of providing substantial property tax relief while avoiding the risk of moving too quickly and harming our ability to serve the children in our communities. That being said, while we find this approach to be far better than the one proposed by the governor, we still have concerns with components of the plan, which is why we are coming to you today in a neutral capacity. First and foremost, an issue that has been discussed at length already. Without the adequate multi-year modeling, we cannot say with certainty that this approach will strike the balance that I mentioned earlier. In particular, we want to see how the changes in valuation caps to residential, commercial versus ag, which is differentiated under the proposal, will actually impact the districts across the state. Our second concern is another one that has been discussed at length. We are concerned about the elimination of the averaging adjustment. While on the surface it might appear that any funds lost through the elimination of the averaging adjustment would be made up in the aggregate, that is not actually the case because the gap between the local effort rate and the maximum levy will continue to remain the same at the 5-cent gap. By eliminating the averaging adjustment, you're actually shrinking the total pool of resources for schools. Other concerns may come to light as we go through the modeling, but we believe those concerns alone merit us coming today in a neutral capacity. We do sincerely appreciate the overall approach. We like the general framework, but on an issue as important as this, we want to make sure that everything is strong. So thank you for your consideration. Hello again, members of the Revenue Committee. For the record, my name is Tim, Tim Royers, Royers. I am the incoming president of the Nebraska State Education Association, and I'm speaking on behalf of our members in support of LB 12. We want to thank Senator Day and the bipartisan group of co-sponsors for bringing this bill forward. LB 12 is a common sense solution that streamlines existing property tax relief efforts. It eliminates technological and informational barriers that are currently holding back some Nebraskans from accessing the credit in its current form. There is presently a pretty clear correlation between the percentage of Nebraskans who access the credit when they file their income tax returns and their level of wealth. By front-loading the credit, LB 12 will bring relief to those Nebraskans who need it the most. Speaking as a homeowner who's filed for the credit in the years that all the years it's been offered, I can say firsthand that even with the tools provided by the Nebraska Department of Revenue, it is not a simple task to ascertain the information you need to file for the credit. The fact, for example, that there's a difference between the year the property taxes were paid and the property tax year is the kind of terminology barrier that can make it harder for folks to access the credit as it currently exists. By front-loading the credit and dispersing directly to political subdivisions, LB 12 will allow property owners to have a more accurate idea of what they actually owe in property taxes after all factors, local and state, are taken into account. This is a critical component in the continuing wider conversation on balancing the three-legged stool between property sales and income taxes and how we can deliver needed resources for essential public services like our schools without placing undue burden on certain segments of our population. As we move through the special session, I encourage the members of this committee and the wider body to seek common sense solutions like those found in LB 12 that will help reduce the tax burdens of Nebraska property owners and provide a more accurate picture of our tax obligations. As we continue to discuss how we can best support our public schools, this clarity is needed so that we are affecting the strongest possible policies moving forward. Thank you.